Okay, let's just dive right into this. If you're trying to break into cybersecurity, have you ever felt just completely overwhelmed? It's a field that's filled with endless tools, certifications, and a ton of conflicting advice. So the goal of this explainer is simple. We're going to cut through all that noise and help you find some real clarity. We're going to help you shift from being confused about what to learn to being clear about how you think.
And right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. If you've tried to get into this field and felt stuck, it is probably not your fault. The problem isn't a lack of effort on your part. It's that so much of the training out there focuses on the wrong things. It pushes tools over thinking, and that's just a recipe for burnout. So we're going to reframe this whole problem right from the start.
So what is it? Why do so many smart, motivated people get totally stuck? Well, it usually comes down to falling into a few really common traps. And understanding these traps is the very first step to avoiding them.
Okay, this slide right here, this shows a massive problem. I mean, a huge one. We'll call it the external driver trap. Think about it. Most people pick their path based on what's trendy, what cert seems easy, or what their friends are doing, right? But when your motivation is all external, you're basically building your career on a shaky foundation. And notice where all those paths lead? Straight to burnout. And that external trap, it leads directly to this, the tool collection mindset. You feel this insane pressure to learn it all and all at once. You've got Python, cloud security, networking, a dozen different tools on your plate. But here's the kicker. Without knowing why you're learning them, you're just juggling. It gets overwhelming and eventually you just freeze up.
Okay, so if just collecting tools is the trap, how do you get out? What's the escape plan? It's all about a fundamental shift in how you see things. It's about stopping the focus on the what and starting to focus on the how. Not what tools do I know, but how do I naturally think and solve problems? This right here is the professional's mindset.
And this comparison just nails it, doesn't it? It shows that shift perfectly. The amateur, they're asking, which tools should I learn, or how much does it pay? But the professional, they're asking completely different questions. What kind of problem do I actually enjoy solving? And, so important, what kind of daily stress can I actually handle? See the difference? It changes everything. It's not about outside approval anymore. It's about finding what fits you.
And this is the absolute core of it all. Most failures in this field, they're not technical failures. They're thinking failures. You can always learn a new tool. That's the easy part. But if your natural way of thinking is a total mismatch for your role, you're setting yourself up for failure from day one.
Okay, so if it's all about these thinking styles, what are they? Let's break it down. We're going to look at cybersecurity through 5 core professions, or maybe a better way to put it, 5 core mindsets. For a minute, just forget about the fancy job titles. Let's focus on the one core question that each of these roles has to answer day in and day out.
First up, we have the SOC analyst. This is all about the detection mindset. This is the front line, the tip of the spear. Their entire job revolves around one constant, high-stakes question. They're looking at this flood of alerts, and they have to decide, is this real, and do I need to sound the alarm right now? Now, the reality of a security operations center, a SOC, is intense. No sugarcoating it. It's a 24/7 grind where you are constantly sifting through a mountain of noise just to find that one critical signal. This role is a fantastic fit if you're someone who stays cool under pressure. You like quick feedback loops, right? Problem solved. What's next? And you're okay making big calls even when you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle.
All right, let's switch gears to the next mindset, the blue team, the defenders. Their core question is totally different. It's not reactive, it's proactive. After something bad happens, or even better, before it does, they're asking, how do we build our defenses so this can't happen again?
So if the SOC analyst is the firefighter, the blue team is the one fireproofing the building. See the difference? This is the work of builders, of fixers. They're hardening systems, patching vulnerabilities, designing better controls. This is a great fit for people who would rather have stability than a constant adrenaline rush. You get your satisfaction from the quiet wins, when nothing bad happens precisely because you did your job right. Now, for a totally different way of thinking, cyber threat intelligence, or CTI. This is the pattern mindset. A CTI analyst looks at one little piece of data from an attack and asks these huge questions. What does this tell us about the bigger picture? Who's behind this? Why are they doing it? And what are they going to do next?
This role is super intellectual. The day-to-day reality is a ton of reading, a ton of research, and connecting dots that nobody else sees. The final product isn't a patch server, it's a report, a piece of writing that can literally change a multi-million-dollar business decision. So if you love diving down rabbit holes, if you love writing, and you love making sense of chaos, this could totally be your thing. Next up, governance, risk, and compliance, or GRC. This is the accountability mindset. Think of GRC pros as the translators, the bridge between the super technical world and the business world. They're the ones who have to ask the really tough question. Okay, given our budget and our goals, what level of risk are we willing to accept? And can we actually justify that decision? Their day-to-day is all about creating policies, auditing systems to make sure they're followed, and maybe most importantly, translating all that tech jargon into plain English about business impact for the executives. This is a perfect fit if you're a systematic thinker, a really strong communicator, and you're interested in shaping the rules of the game. And finally, we have the security architect. This is the systems mindset. These folks are the visionaries. They're the ones looking at a blank whiteboard before a single line of code is written and asking the most fundamental question of all. To make sure this is secure from the get-go, how should we build this from the ground up? Architects think in whole systems. They're constantly balancing security against the budget, against business needs. They prevent problems that others won't even see for years. Now, it's really important to get this. This is almost never an entry-level job. It's a destination, a role you grow into after you have a ton of experience and a really broad perspective. So after running through those 5 mindsets, let's just hammer this point home again. There is no hierarchy here. One isn't better than another. A brilliant CTI analyst would be totally miserable and probably terrible as a SOC analyst, and the other way around too. The goal is not to find the best job, it's to find the job that clicks with how your brain is already wired. Okay, so how on earth do you figure out which one fits you? Let's move into a quick little diagnostic framework. Look, this isn't some foolproof personality test, but it's going to help you start asking the right questions. First question for you. Do you prefer speed or depth? Do you get a real kick out of clearing a queue, making fast calls with just enough info, and moving to the next thing? That's pointing you towards a role like a SOC analyst. Or do you prefer to go deep, to read and read, connect the dots, and really, truly understand the why behind an event? That sounds a lot more like threat intelligence. And the second big question is about the kind of friction you'd rather deal with. Are you more system-focused? A builder who loves tackling problems like broken code or a messy network? That's a blue team mindset right there. Or are you more human-focused? A governor who's better at navigating the friction of, difficult conversations and explaining risks to people who don't get the tech? That's the world of GRC. By really thinking about these questions, you stop just chasing a random job title. You start building a real path forward, one that's based on self-awareness. This is how you move from just wanting a job in cyber to being genuinely ready for one. So let's just leave it with this final thought. The whole point of this entire conversation is to help you make an intentional choice. Trying to learn everything at once or picking a role just because it's popular, that is a direct path to burnout. I promise you. The single most powerful thing you can do for your career is to first seek clarity. Understand how you think, find the role that fits, and then, and only then, start building your skills with a real sense of purpose.